Before an officer can properly carry out his duties of protecting any crime scene, preserving and collecting evidence, he must recognize the crime scene for what it is, all of the area related to the offense. In any type of offense, determining the extent of the crime scene may be of major importance in his investigation. What was the criminal's route of approach and departure? Along the way may be found the evidence which will link the criminal with the crime and assure his conviction. Physical evidence of a material nature and having a direct bearing on the crime itself can establish the corpus delicti, the identity of the criminal, and his method of operation. It must be protected. In most cases, criminal offenses are reported by someone at the crime scene. As he enters the area of the offense, he is often unaware that a crime has taken place. This market has been attacked by burglars. The victim may alter or contaminate the scene before becoming aware of the crime and making his report to police, thus destroying valuable evidence. Once the report has been made, the investigating agency must make every effort to prevent further contamination of the area of the offense. The first suggestion the victim may receive from the police is that the area be closed off to all traffic except that which is absolutely necessary. Don't touch anything is good advice which may prevent contamination. In many cases, police may enlist the aid of the victim and other interested persons in protecting the crime scene. If other store employees are properly instructed in the importance of protecting the area, they may provide valuable assistance before and after the investigating officer arrives. The area in which the criminal operated may be more easily recognized by the victim than by the investigating officer. The victim's familiarity with the premises should aid him in recognizing the burglar's scope of activity, but a trained investigator is needed to interpret what he may find. When the officer arrives at the scene, he should have sufficient information regarding the offense so that he has a general idea of what he may expect and look for. The investigator knows he may later be asked to testify as to the condition of the scene upon his arrival. So, he will want to know everything the victim can offer with regard to the area of the offense. The officer will note any changes made at the scene, by whom, and the reason therefor. Opening time at a busy market will mean considerable incoming traffic. Available police manpower may not permit intercepting each employee at the door, but each should be promptly informed of what has occurred and his aid solicited in preserving the scene. Aware of the need for protecting the scene, the employee may assist the investigating officer in roping off a critical area. Burglars come and go, and the area of the points of entry and exit should be identified without unnecessary delay. Near the building attacked, the investigator may discover valuable evidence which should be protected until it can be properly collected. By marking the box which covers the tire print, the officer identifies and protects the evidence. A second look inside may reveal something missed the first time around. In this case, evidence that the burglars hid out on the premises until the store closed. Now that it's recognized, protect it. Having established the scene of the offense through information furnished by the victim and through physical evidence within the area, the investigator may establish boundaries to mark the critical locations. He should do his best to see that these boundaries are observed by everyone present and thus prevent the inadvertent destruction of evidence. Some law enforcement agencies may assign to the case a detective who specializes in the investigation of the type of crime committed. The detective's arrival will give the officer a chance to go over the information he has acquired and to discuss further procedures. Quick action is seldom necessary in the examination of the crime scene. There's usually time for systematic observation of the premises, time for a good, thorough look at things as they are. At this time, the investigator is primarily concerned with his obligation to provide for future reference a reproduction of the scene as it existed. Details should be noted, and where the need is indicated, photographs or sketches should be made. Within the scene, he will identify by notes, sketches, or photographs the locations of specific items of evidence. A sketch or chart of the immediate area of search may be simply made and will be an invaluable aid to the investigator. Started in the initial phase of the investigation, properly identified with the officer's initials, date, and description, it will reflect the exact location of points of interest and items of evidence as they are found. The crime scene established and protected, and his preliminary work completed, the investigator is ready to begin the collection of evidence. This is one of the most significant aspects of the investigation. An adequate preparation in recognizing and protecting the crime scene is essential to its success. Whether the technical skills of the criminalist are available to the investigator, or he must gather the evidence himself, success will greatly depend upon the thoroughness of the work done to this point in the investigation. Within the building attacked, or along the route of the criminal's approach or departure, will be found the physical evidence which may establish the corpus delicti, the identity of the criminal, and his method of operation. Somewhere, at the scene of every crime, is evidence which will contribute to a successful prosecution. The crime scene must be recognized and protected.